What? It's all white. What are you doing? What are you doing? I can see you. You done eating?
Chicken rice soup.
Okay.
And steamed rice.
Huh? There's another steamed rice? Those are all carb. You want to watch me while I'm making patola? Vegetable? You have to eat vegetable now, not only meat.
No.
Yes, you need to, Mr. Carnivorous. On that Sunday night, April 20th. So we were resting, the usual weekend night. We watch movie with popcorn, spend some time together. And then suddenly he said he wants to go washroom, and he fell off the bed. He cannot stretch his thumb. He cannot stand up by himself. So I yell on to my daughter, get your phone, dial 911 right now.
I'll give you a tour of my room.
Okay.
I have a big TV. This is my room.
They took his vitals and everything is normal. He's not high blood. Sugar is okay. When the paramedics saw that he works at Cargill, it might be the virus.
A couple of questions that I really want to focus right now, and that is around the situation at the Cargill meat plant just outside of Calgary.
This plant processes more than a third of Canada's beef, so there is pressure to keep the doors
There
open.
are nearly 1,000 people who work there who have contracted COVID-19. That is the largest outbreak in any workplace.
The single largest outbreak
for COVID-19 in North America.
Can you give me sort of an overall picture to begin? Where were the...
And he was alone at the ICU because he was isolated for 3 weeks. I was waiting for him to wake up and call my name, call my daughter's name, or ask the doctors to talk to me just for a minute so I know what's going on with him. The cause of his blood clot is the virus. And flow of oxygen on his brain is not enough, so he got a stroke, which left part of his body was affected until now. He cannot use his hand, he can raise his foot, but minimal. I want to see it. We want to see your arm lift up. Okay, lift it up. There you go. Okay, and you put it back down. But can you squeeze now? No. Not yet. Okay. But don't try to get up by yourself, okay? You need to have someone looking at you, just in case. See, that's what we do. He calls me most of the time. He has nothing to do. Yeah. So it's like he's here. Okay, go for a nap na.
Okay, bye-bye. Love you.
Love you, bye-bye.
Early in the outbreak at Cargill, the workers were already raising the alarm.
People were messaging me, they were calling me, they're all scared. And I said the union is pushing for us to close.
Their voice were never given any credence.
We know what these plants are like, and if you've ever been inside one of them, people are elbow to elbow, because the more people you can cram in there, the more cows you can process at a quicker rate. Every worker in that plant was exposing themselves because they did not have the proper protections, they did not have masks. The plant was running at regular speed.
We noticed that management was wearing masks. It's something that everybody could see. It was the supervisors, the managers.
You go to the health authorities, and they say, well, we're not shutting down because Cargill says they're doing this and this and this.
My Alberta Health Services colleagues also continue to work with the operators of the Cargill meatpacking plant in High River. They have assured me all appropriate measures are being taken, and Cargill has voluntarily and fully cooperated to ensure the health and safety of staff.
Throughout that entire time, the company kept saying to us, we won't close the plant, we won't shut down operations because Alberta Health Services is not telling us to do that.
John from Cargill, did you want to add anything else?
We're going to absolutely listen to the experts. So we will continue to work with Alberta Health Services to make sure that we're doing everything we can possibly do. If there's ever a point where we cannot operate safely, then we will not do so.
And the government won't,
The direction has clearly been from the government to take every necessary health and safety precaution. There has been very strong interagency cooperation.
So there's this finger-pointing game between government, health authorities, occupational health and safety regulators, and the company. It's clear that something very horrible is happening, and you're all looking at it, and you're insisting on putting economic interests before the health interests of the people who work there. And that is negligence.
Hello. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hello, Jennifer.
Roderick.
Just doing my first rounds here.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll be back.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah,
Do you need to take her vitals? It's okay. You can do it now if you need to.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
that's okay.
you.
I haven't got a machine.
Jennifer,
She's my friend. There are
Yeah.
2,000 workers in the Cargill.
the whole company is his friend.
Yes, I'm a friendly people. I'm a friendly.
Yeah, both of us are wherever we go.
I have a friend, a black guy, and Mexican. Mexico.
Mexican. Yeah, Mexico.
Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends.
What are you doing in the hospital if you're not doing anything?
I'm going around with my best friend. My best friend chair, my wheelchair.
When he was out of isolation, after 2 months, we were able to see him downstairs only. We cannot come up here. And then finally, they allowed us to get in. There were lots of times that we're not together. From Philippines, I went to Taiwan, and from Taiwan to here, not seeing my family. I was in Taiwan 11 years. I take care of babies, senior citizen people. No day off at all for those long years. And you know how I will see my husband? So I will call him. I said, okay, I'm gonna throw garbage at 7 o'clock in the evening. You better be there and we'll see each other. That's it. And so I came here, then I took my family, and then I told my husband, all I want is you and me and our daughter to be together. So I'm doing this for you, not for myself. I see some people doing it like they're having dinner together, the whole family. They wait for everybody to come back home. But since the nature of our life here, that like him and me, we don't have the same schedule. So it's impossible for us to have like one meal that everybody's at home. We've been away most of the time, but still at the end of the day, he said the happiest event in his life is to have me and our daughter.
Yes. The hospital, it was so sad. They have a patient like you. You cannot talk to the patient because you cannot speak some good English. Sometimes I will cry because I feel I'm only one in the hospital.
Exactly when they got here, there was an hiring at Cargill. At first 3 months, he wants to quit. He said the work is not easy.
Because when I first worked there, when I'm going home in the morning, I can't open the doorknob.
His fingers were locked. And then after that, he's trying to love his job. I said, no, I'm not quitting. Then he got sick. So people are asking me, are you going to sue the company? I said, no, I'm not after the money. All I want is my husband to get better and go back to us. His normal life. That's all I wish for.
One time in the meatpacking industry, for example, these were fairly, quite well paid working class jobs. In an attempt to cut corners and to reduce costs, they moved them to rural areas and then started bringing in migrant workers.
Decades ago, when most of them came from Western countries, they were immediately given residency. But when the workers started to come from other backgrounds like the Caribbean and the Philippines and Bangladesh, for instance, suddenly they're not allowed to bring their families here. They're on a different track. And what's the difference? It's race.
Cargill workers, over 70% are of Filipino descent. Most of them come to Canada as temporary foreign workers. What happened in the outbreak has revealed a lot of deep-seated, decades-long issues. There is inequity, there is exploitation, there is discrimination.
A worker can only work for one employer. If there are exploitation in the workplace, the worker cannot just leave, because leaving the employer means deportation.
The condition for them coming here is that they would only come here as temporary foreign workers. Foreign workers. They're being termed as foreign because you can get rid of them anytime.
Migrant workers are the cheapest and most disposable labor. It's a very convenient way of getting people to come to Canada and work in Canada with not necessarily equal rights as any Canadians.
Canada has relied on migrant workers to secure the profits of billionaire corporations in the food industry for decades.
From the people who grow the food, to the ones who package it, to the people working in the back of the restaurants, to the Uber driver bringing it to your house, every one of those people is probably migrant and undocumented.
They all have a common issue, which is the way our immigration system and policies are designed.
We have people who matter and people who don't matter.
They're all providing food to Canadians, which is essential, but they are not given the commensurate treatment and respect and the dignity that they deserve.
What tomorrow? Today. Now. Because you're not doing anything, so you can have shower. Then Monday, you're gonna be busy again. No time for shower. Yeah, ask their help. If there's someone there to help you to go shower.
Okay, maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Sabihin mo kay Kiana, long distance, love affair na naman yan.
He said it's a long distance love affair again because he's far. He's in Red Deer and I'm here in Calgary. That's okay. It's for your own good, darling. Right?
I hope so.
Yes, of course. What happened again? Answer, can you hear me? Okay. I don't want to blame anybody. I just want to cry loud to express myself, but I'm controlling my emotion because there are people around me, like my daughter and my husband, and I don't want them to see me failing. So I cry behind. I do it on my own, especially when I'm praying to God. I'm just an ordinary worker, an ordinary person. You have to work from day to day in order to make a living. During our hardships, you have to help yourself. Like us, we don't have any family here, only us. Because of what happened to my husband, we have no guaranteed source of income, only mine, which is not enough. So what we concentrate now is for him to get better, he can come back home, and then we'll start from that and make our dreams again for us and for our daughter. There he is, happy. I hope he can come back to that. Hopefully it doesn't snow earlier. I want to take him home before the snow comes.
When crisis happens around COVID, it was the migrants who's the chopping board, right? They're blamed for the spread of the virus.
The default position is always, well, it has something to do with the community, or it has something to do with shared rides, or it has something to do with people living in the same apartment.
Some of the cases certainly were connected to the Cargill plant, but many of those cases were linked to large households where there are many people living together.
In the beginning of the outbreak, that was seen as a lifestyle choice. It's not, right? It's a necessity.
It's not their fault to go carpooling because that's the only affordable way to go to work.
Canada doesn't actually record race-based statistics. But if you look at the number of people who have been infected by COVID, a disproportionate number of them come from racialized backgrounds because they are put in situations that made them vulnerable.
They would hear, here are the virus spreaders. These are the Filipinos.
You saw people trying to go to the bank to do their banking, and people not being allowed in because they were Filipino.
If you're a Filipino who works in Cargill, or say an Ethiopian or Vietnamese or Mexican,
even if they themselves are not infected,
they would immediately associate you with the virus.
They were being denied services, they were being denied access to food.
Canada has this so-called experiment in diversity and multiculturalism, but also guilt. Pride and guilt that many of the promises of diversity and equity have actually not been met.
When I first came here, I used the wheelchair. After a month, they gave me a walker, and after the walker, they gave me a cane. This is the treadmill. And I used it. This. Only this. This is the treadmill I use every day.
Okay. Oh, careful.
See?
Ooh, careful. Slow.
Sometimes I don't like the attitudes of the nurses. I always look at to boil the water. I cannot touch. I get tissue and then I will touch the handle. They said don't touch that, because they look at me. I'm sick so much. I'm not sick. I'm good.
Patients cannot touch all the equipments in the kitchen, like when boiled water. They need to ask the help of the nurses. But he saw some patients doing it themselves, and they're not saying anything. So I said,
they didn't understand.
Never mind. Anyways, you'll be discharged soon, so don't look at it as a big deal, right? Those are just minor problems, so don't think about it. You'll be out of here anyway, so. Aling yata yung mata mo. Let me see. Let me look at your eyes.
It's okay.
We always look on the good side, not on the bad side. And still lucky because look at him now. See? It's a big blessing. He can walk by himself. The only thing is the left hand is not working yet. So,
No.
It hurts?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't like Canada so much because I will never forget. I will never forget the Canada now. I got a COVID in Canada. So how can I forget Canada? I wish that I'm going home.
Soon.
No, in the Philippines.
Oh no, we can't. Why do you want to go home? What will you do there?
I walk in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But here, how can you walk? Is that like that snow outside?
In the summer. But we don't have very long summer.
I missed the whole summer from this
Yeah, he
this
missed
year.
the whole summer this year.
I have been 6 months in the hospital from now.
No.
Until now.
Yeah. Like now we're together. That's one dream that I had before. And it came true.
We have some 200 licensed meat processing facilities in Alberta, and we've seen significant outbreaks in 2 of those, so in 1%. I'd like to see this as a reflection of our success.
Canadians have confidence in our immigration system. We have a system that over the past decades has done a very good job of not just having people come to Canada, but setting them up for success.
This was a temporary foreign worker who came from Mexico with 4 young children, who has struggled in this country, struggled to bring his family to Canada to build a better life.
2 people died that worked at Cargill. One of them I called my brother, and his name was Benito.
He was a shop steward in our union. He was a person, a very gentle person. He was a leader in his workplace, but a quiet and humble man.
The first worker who died, Hip Boy, strong woman, very friendly. She has been with Cargill for more than 23 years, picking out beef bones under refrigerated temperatures 8 hours daily. Boy and her husband came to Canada from Vietnam looking for a better life.
I am so sad. I know that I will not see my wife anymore.
I'd like to see this as a reflection of our success.
Hello. I'm home.
Eat, because we're hungry. Let's go. Huh? Kleenex is here.
Yeah. My private nurse. But it's very expensive. The salary is very expensive. Finally, I can walk, but not so good.
At least you can walk.
Come on, let's eat the chicken feet. Now I use my favorite spoon.
Eat some vegetables.
So delicious.
Rice is everywhere. What else do you want?
Nothing. I want
What do you want?
nothing.
Nothing. Then keep on eating then.
I just want to eat.
Yeah, just eat.
Now I'm here to continue my life. Continue working and spend more money to buy some shoes for my daughter.
He has to undergo therapy again.
My doctor, they asked me to 1 year stay in my home. After that, going back to work. I'm so happy that my wife's so strong.
I have to be.
You have to be, because if you are not strong, how can I strong? If I look at you, you are not strong. I feel I'm a new life. I realized that money is not important for the happy family.
Still need money though.
Yeah, but continue loving each other. That's the most important. If no love,
The earth will explode.
the truth is it's hard to explain the love. The love is most important when you got sick.
If you don't love someone, then you give up. But if you don't, then you won't. So we just have to keep moving, keep living, keep loving.
I have a message for the people who watching my video. Susubok mo ang pag-ibig pagka ikaw ay nagkasakit. Doon mo makikita ang pagmamahal ng isang asawa. Dahil sa dadalawin ka araw-araw kahit na napakalayong lugar.
You said you get trials when you get sick. If someone loves you, wherever you are and how far you are, and then she's gonna conquer everything just to see you in a very far place.
No, I feel so good here. It's compared to the hospital. But the problem is how long I can move this my arm. I can walk, but I cannot use my arm.
All I want is you and me and our daughter to be together, so I'm doing this for you, not for myself.
I got a COVID in Canada, so how can I forget Canada?
We can come back home and make our dreams again.